VC, it's Steve Whitty here. Video recorded on Saturday. Busy day today, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. This is a sort of a follow-up video to a thread that Richard McCook recently started posting videos on the vinyl community, and this is he showed his top 10 live albums. So I'm gonna, and I said, well, great video. I think I'll come up with showing some of my favourite live albums. I'm not sure if I'm going to rank them, but there are what I'm going to show. I'm going to show 13, 12 officially. There's a story behind one I'm going to show. And some of my favourite live albums. I hope you agree or disagree with me. It would be interesting to know. But if you haven't subscribed to Richard, checked out Richard's channel, really is good. He does a lot of lists. Very knowledgeable. He's got a lovely Northern Irish brogue that's just so easy on the ears. Really is good. Really is good. We've made comments on each other's videos, so it's great to follow up. So, what are my favourite live albums? We'll start off with Stepping Out by Joan Armour Trading. I think this came out in 1979 and was recorded on a US tour, featuring on drums Richie Hayward from Little Feat. I actually love it. Love this album. It's got on here, obviously a live version of Love and Affection. Stepping Out is on here, which was used as the title track. This copy's an upgrade because I originally picked up an Hallmark edition, which was sort of like a cheap reissue label. Managed to find an original gatefold on A&M on this. Joan Armour Trading is one of my favourite singers anyhow. There we go. Well, I'm gonna there you go. And so to find a live album by her was really pleasing. It's a great listen. It's a great listen. She really interacts with the audience well on this. So definitely one of my favourites. Another one of my favourites is Viva by Roxy Music. This is known as the Live Roxy Music album. Came out in 1976 and sort of marked up a bit of a hiatus for the band. Siren had been the studio album this was done to promote, and the job on bass was John Wetton was on bass for the tour. Never had a permanent bass player. After the first album, they just got session guys in to record the albums and go on the tours. So you got the Sirens as backing vocals. So you've got on here Out the Blue, Pajama Rama, Bogus Man, Chance Meeting, Both Ends Burning, and side 2, If There Is Something in Every Dream, Home and Heartache, and Do the Strand. So it's only a single album. It's got the band there. Yeah, sort of catches them at their peak. You've got Brian Ferry in his GI look as he did that tour. Really corking live band. I think when I saw videos of when they got back together in the early 2000s, and how good a live band they were. That's an album worth checking out. One of my favourite bands, and I've done a video about them, is Bebop Deluxe. This is their live album, Live in the Air Age. This came out, I think, 1976 or 77. It's a quite strange album because actually it's one record. It's a double record set, but one record is an actual album, and the second record is a 12-inch EP. So it works out that side 1 is the album, which features Life in the Air Age, Ships in the Night, Peace of Mind, Fair Exchange. Then side 2 is the first side of the EP, Shine, and then Sister Seagull, Made in Heaven, and then side 4 you've got Milk Street Junction, Adventures in the Yorkshire Landscape, and Blazing Apostles. As I said, one of my favourite bands of all time, Bebop Deluxe. And this is just a corking live document of them live. Well worth having, well worth checking out, especially if you can get it with the 12-inch EP included. That just makes it more enjoyable. One of my probably my favourite band of all time is Rush. I've picked Exit's Stage Left. This is when I got into music. It's one of the first live albums I ever brought, and I know this gets slagged off because the mix ain't great, the guitar's a bit drowned out, but I just love it. I've loved this out. I love this live album. Played it to death. Recorded US. Side 2 is recorded in Glasgow, which has the version of Closer to the Heart where the crowd is singing along. This, what I liked about Rush's live albums was that they usually ended the cycle. So the first one, All the World's a Stage, sort of ended the four album cycle up to 2112. This ended the cycle up to Moving Pictures, and then the band moved on. It was always a signal for a new phase for the band. So like that album. I think standout tracks on here for me. I like Xanadu. Tom Sawyer's just a classic on this. It was actually a hit single for him in the UK when released. I say Closer to the Heart. I do like the guitar on Passage to Bangkok on here as well. Talking of Rush, I'm not classing this as one of my favourite albums, but as I said, they did them at 4 album cycles. So at the end of the next 4 albums, after Hold Your Fire, they released this Show of Hands. Now, this was recorded all over the world. Some of it was recorded in Birmingham, my home city, and they also brought out a live video, which was the whole concert in Birmingham. Now, initially, I couldn't get a ticket that sold out for the shows. Rush tickets always sold out. However, right at the last moment, they wanted to do a sort of like a video rehearsal and test the equipment out. So they added the show at the last minute, and I went and saw that show. So I was there at sort of like the dress rehearsal. They played the full show. And, you could see the video cameras obviously jostling for positions and everything. But that didn't take anything away. And it was such a nice gig because it was more intimate. Because the NEC Arena in Birmingham, or the Ginteng as it's called now, it's one of these big arenas. Obviously, you've got the seats at the front, downstairs, and then your seats at the back, raising up, and then to the side. They closed all that bit. It was just the seats to the front. So they had a sizable crowd in. But it wasn't too big, so it felt like an intimate gig, as close to an intimate gig I was going to ever see Rush in. So I was pleased with that. I say it's not one of my favourite live albums, but it's just an interesting little tale. Time for a slurp. This was a recent purchase. Tubes. What do you want from live? This is corking. This is a corking live album, recorded in Hammersmith Odeon. What can I say about this album? It's absolute. The interaction. I've always got the impression that the Tubes did put on a show, and this just backed it up. Like interaction between the band, interaction with the audience. Absolutely corking. This only cost me a couple of quid. And I tell you what, if you ever see it, pick this album up. Obviously, you've got White Punks on Dope on here. What do you want from life? Mondo Bondage. They do a Still Standing there. Don't Touch Me there. Just absolutely, the band were on top form. And I think that's what you want from a live album. A live album is there to capture a band at a particular point in time, and absolute corking. You find a copy, pick it up. Live album, well, I suppose this comes in. This Springsteen and the E Street Band live, 1975 to 85. This is a 5 LP set. Now, at this point, this was released in 86. Bruce Springsteen was at his pomp. I mean, born in the USA. He was doing stadiums. He really started to hit his commercial peak. especially in the UK. And it was always all about the live experience with Bruce Springsteen. So when this came out, this was so hotly anticipated as a live album, and I think I know I had a copy of this. I had this on cassette originally. Mum brought it as a Christmas present, and it was a Christmas present, but I didn't get it till about February because such was the demand. It just took forever to come in. I recently found this about last year. Found the album. It plays beautifully. It's just a whole enhanced experience. It's a listen. It is a listen. I'm not sure if you can dip in and out of it, but I think it's just absolutely worth listening. Sort of like capture. It's a time essence of the band. So you've got the '75 stuff, the club, and slowly building up. Things like the River tour, and then right up to the Born in the USA tour, where, as I say, he at that point he couldn't do no wrong. He'd finally broken the UK sales wise, singles wise, doing the gigs, and just amazing, just amazing. Another amazing live album, totally different reasons. Ramones, It's Alive. This is just I never saw the Ramones live. But this captures obviously the original lineup. I think this was recorded in Glasgow, New Year's. London. It's recorded at the Rainbow in London. Apologies for that. New Year's Eve, 1977, and this is just bam, bam. It's like play a song, whatever you want, play another song, whatever you want. It's just absolutely in your face. There they are, the band in. There you go, Gabba Gabba Hey. Again, if you haven't got this album, go and check it out. It is brilliant. It captures the spirit of the original band. Absolutely brilliant. Well recommending. Obviously, you've got all the tracks: Rockaway Beach, Blitzkrieg Bop's on there. Sheen's a punk rocker. Let's Dance, their version. Judy is a punk. Susie a headbanger. Now I Want to Sniff Some Glue. We're a Happy Family closes the album. Oh man, it's just worth grabbing hold of. Hang on, let's change my order a little bit. This was recorded in Glasgow. AC/DC, If You Want Blood, You've Got It. 1978, captures the band on form. Again, they were starting to hit their peak in the UK. Bon Scott's vocals. It's got all the classic tracks on here: Riff Raff, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Bad Boy Boogie, The Jack, Problem Child, Whole Lot of Rosie, Rock and Roll Damnation, which I think at the time the studio version became their first top 30 single in the UK. High Voltage, Let There Be Rocker. So classic catalogue of the Bon Scott era. Just absolutely the playing and the crowd interaction, just absolutely corking out album. I showed this as my favourite Emerson, Lake and Palmer album, so it would be a miss for me not to include this as my favourite live albums. Pictures at an Exhibition came out in 1971. This was recorded at Newcastle City Hall, and if you ever listen to this, the opening keyboard riff is actually played on the organ that used to be held in the City Hall. So Keith Emerson had special permission to use that, where he normally would just play on his keyboards that opening. But this is just absolutely brilliant, absolutely corking album. Again, captures the interaction with the crowd. The crowd were up for it. The band were up for it. Top form. That's what you want from a live album. Someone that just captures it and it just feels right. You've got Picture at an Exhibition. Then you got Nut Rocker at the end. The encore. Absolutely brilliant. So again, another live album. If you haven't listened to it, it's worth checking out. Don't be put off. It's Emerson, Lake and Palmer. A good live album. A good live album. I've got a Lou Rawls double live album. It's really nice as well. Not particularly my cup of tea, but it's really good. suppose these are more coming to my youth here a little bit. UFO Strangers in the Night, released in 1979, I think, during their US tour. I think part of it's in Chicago, because I mentioned Chicago and Lights Out. This is the swan song with Michael Schenker. He officially left around this time, but you just got great tracks on here. Natural Thing, great opener. Only You Can Rock Me, Doctor Doctor, which became a hit single for top 30 single in the UK. Mother Mary, Love to Love's another really great track. And obviously got Lights Out. Rock Bottom, which really features Michael Schenker sort of like whittling out on his guitar. Too Hot to Handle, Let It Roll, Shoot Shoot, amongst others. Again, I played this a lot as a kid. It's just one of these. It sort of stuck with me as probably my favourite UFO album. Live album, Motorhead, No Sleep to Hammersmith. Brought this around my 16th birthday, and this is not the original copy. I would never put the stickers on like this. Played it to death. Number one album for them in the UK. It was their only number one album, but it was the essence of the band. No Sleep to Hammersmith is just everything you want in a live album. Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Metropolis, The Hammer, Iron Horse, No Class, Overkill, We Are the Road Crew, Capricorn, Bomber, Motorhead. I've got the CD deluxe version as well, which sort of like was sort of included the dress rehearsal recording as well. This is much better though. And I think after all the live albums, this is probably the best one. I know they've put out some other live albums which features other lineup, but it's the classic lineup. To me, Motorhead, absolutely brilliant. Again, brilliant live album. I suppose if I had to choose my favourite live album, and it sort of revolves back to when I was, when I was a lad, and really started buying records, and it's probably one of the live album I played the most. Kiss Alive. There you go. I absolutely played this to death. Again, around 15, 16 when I brought this. This is not the original copy, by the way. That I brought, but yeah, it's the pie where if you hold it to the light, it shows up as red, or blood red. It was fair to say this album saved Kiss, gave Kiss a career. Kiss, the band that we know and love, would never be the band. They were heavily in debt. The first three albums hadn't really sold. The record company was in debt, but it was always said that the problem is your studio albums don't capture your real sound. They were a real live attraction at the time. They were selling out. That's the stadium. I think that's Cobbin Hall, is it, or wherever it is in Detroit. And that's a sizable venue, but the record sales weren't matching, so people preferred them live. So they decided to put out this live album, which is as raw as it gets, and it just captures the band, the explosions, the playing. Paul Stanley was on, whipping the crowd up. It's just apps. And I played it to death. Played it that much to preserve my original copy. I put it onto tape and just played the tape, recorded it on tapes, played the tapes until they worn dead. I just love this album. I still do love this album. I might go and play it this weekend actually, just as a reminder of how good it is. I've got the CD version as well, the remaster. In fact, I've probably got 2 CD versions of this. This is how much I love this album. So yeah, Kiss Alive, my favourite album, and yes, they did borrow the Alive from Slade. I don't think they made any secret that Slade were big fans of Slade at that time. Yeah, my favourite live album of the lot. Thank you for that. It's staying with me. I was pleased with Richard's original video. I forgot to mention that he showed a Face to Face by Steve Harley, which is an underrated live album. If he hadn't shown it, I would have shown it, and likewise Slade Alive I'd have shown, but he'd already shown it, so I didn't want to sort of replicate live albums shown. As I said, it's going to be a busy day today because we're having a VC meetup a bit later. Meeting up with John, 6-inch pianist, James Griffiths, John Bellamy, Headley. And as I speak, I think Chris is on the train down to Birmingham at this moment. It's merely Chris. So, yeah, probably do a bit of flipping around a couple of record shops in town. Probably a little bit of drinking involved as well. So I'm going to have a big breakfast before I get out. So, VC, if you liked what you've seen, thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the interaction. Leave a comment. I'll always get back to you. I do think it's always fair if somebody takes the time out to make a comment, is to acknowledge it or try and get back to you. Also, if you like what you've seen, you're new to the channel, click on the subscribe button. More the merrier, as they always say. So I'm off. The sun is about to start to shine. That's a good sign. So enjoy your Saturday, whatever you get up to VC. So look after yourselves. Keep spinning. More importantly, keep smiling.